Welcome to Code Konvos. I'm John Dean, and today I'm joined by a special guest, Vally Hamza. Vally is a family health coach, and today she's going to join us and talk about healthy living and particularly nutrition. Welcome to the show, Vally.
Thank you for having me, John.
Today I want to start with one question that we all want to know. What's your favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi?
Yeah.
Okay, easy.
I
Japanese.
love sushi. Japanese.
What's so good about sushi, by the way?
I love sushi. It's so special and it's so good. I just love sushi. Don't ask me.
So what we thought we'd start with is a bit about your background before we get into the conversation. I'm keen to understand where you've learnt your knowledge, and then secondly, how you help people. What do you do?
Okay, so I learned in the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York.
Okay.
I also studied sports nutrition in Canada, and I studied aromatherapy here in Egypt. And I did I studied a lot of energy healing as well, a lot of holistic studies that I did. So I combine everything and I help the kids. So I work with kids, I work with parents, and I work with schools. It's all about healthy lifestyle. I teach them how to be healthy and how to live healthy. So it's not only about nutrition and food, it's about how to live with your community in a healthy way.
Okay, so most of your work is done in Egypt.
Yeah.
But you do travel abroad to teach
I do.
As well,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, I go to Dubai to do some workshops as well, and but I love to do this work in Egypt because I live here and because I know exactly how people suffer when it comes to healthy lifestyle.
Okay, and just while we're on the topic of Egypt, what have you noticed, say, over the past 10, 15 years? What has been the biggest changes that have made you realize, okay, people need a little bit of help?
Junk food.
Junk food. Okay.
It's because we're moving too fast. People are doing everything very, very fast. So people are eating the easiest food possible, which is junk food. And also because I talk about kids, so it's very easy for the kids when they see someone eating junk food to eat junk food as well.
Right.
It's more about being in and cool.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And what do you think is so appealing to children about this junk food?
The taste, when they see a lot of recipes on social media about the junk food, you know, the kids now, what are they doing? They're all the time on social media, on TikToks and Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So they see reels and they see videos about how to make this big Oreo shake with all the ingredients, right?
Yeah,
so this is what they do and this is what they eat and all the advertising and everything. And because parents are very busy, so what do they can feed kids other than junk food? It's easier.
Right.
Yeah.
And so within the healthy lifestyle spectrum, which you said is very holistic, lots of things go into that to become healthy. How important is food in that mix?
So food is only one aspect when it comes to healthy lifestyle. So I always say, and this is the title of my workshop always, 5 keys to a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Do you want to guess?
The 5 keys?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Okay. Food?
So food is number 1, definitely. Number
Sleep.
2, definitely. Yes, you did it.
Exercise.
Perfect, that's a
movement.
3rd one.
Number 4 is socializing or something
Exactly,
psychology.
yeah. And then the 5th one is drink water.
Ah, yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So it's one aspect out of 5 aspects.
Okay. And within that aspect, in a normal day, obviously we eat multiple times, so it makes it a little bit important that
it is very important. Definitely, it's very important. But imagine if I'm eating very well and I don't have a social life, and I'm a sad person, and I don't socialize, or for example, I don't play sports, or for example, I don't sleep well. Am I going to be healthy? Definitely.
Okay. So to be healthy, we need to do more than just think about what we
exactly.
eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
And when it comes to a family, definitely the other aspects are very important. Like socializing, having a good relationship with my parents, or having a good relationship with the kids, right?
Okay, so if we could start with food, I think the listeners today want to hear a lot about food, diets, what can they do? What would you say when we're looking at what we're eating, is there like a set of priority foods that we should be consuming daily?
I would say go to basics.
Okay.
Basics, just basics. And here in Egypt is very easy, right?
Yeah.
So just eat what your grandparents used to eat. Eat rice, eat chicken, I'm not talking about the fried chicken, eat just chicken. Fruits and vegetables, definitely. Try to eliminate 3 things. So when I talk to kids, I tell them that we have real food and fake food. So the fake food or the not so real food is the food that has 3 components: sugar, food coloring, and preservatives.
Okay.
So try to eliminate these three things, and then you'll be a healthier person, right? It's
And
as easy as that.
so how would we know? Like, what gives us a clue to, how do we know to avoid this food? What would be some
It's
easy
not
ways?
it's not in a pack. It's
Right.
as easy as that. It's not in a
Okay.
pack. It's just you grab it from the tree, not that everyone will go and grab it. I mean, it's easy. It's simple. It doesn't have many ingredients, right? And just, I want to highlight something very important. The concept, and this is the first concept that I learned in nutrition, bio-individuality. Not one diet fits for all. So we can't say, for example, that keto is the best diet for everyone or vegan is amazing for everyone. No. You have to think about what your body's asking for. I tried vegan for a while, but I was very tired. It's not for me.
Right.
But it can be amazing for my sister.
Okay.
Same DNA, but can be perfect for her, but not for me. Right?
I see.
So you
So
have
even within the family,
within
we
the
have
family.
individualized, basically eating plans.
Yeah,
we should
and
be
I'm
looking-
sure a lot of parents are hearing me now and they know that. They have 2 siblings. One of them is chubby and the other one is super skinny. And they eat the same food, same
Yeah.
parents, right? It's my case. My sister was like that. So, and it's very funny. But I mean, we eat the same food, but we have a different reactions, right?
Yeah.
So you have to think about what's good for me. Maybe I need more protein, or maybe I need less carbs, or maybe this diet can't work. I don't like to say diet, okay? But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the way of eating.
Okay. So basically the bottom line is the less humans get involved in the processing of that food, it's probably better for you. And if it's not packaged up, colorful, and then has a list of things we can't even pronounce,
Exactly.
it's probably better for us.
Exactly.
So our grandparents wouldn't have eaten so much Haribo and Lay's chips and things like that. So they wouldn't have had that issue. They would have had to basically whole food.
Yeah. They
Okay.
weren't thinking about gluten or dairy or butter or anything, right? They were just eating, living and eating. So that's the same thing. And I tell the kids, look at the label. If you have many names, if there is something that you can't read, then it's a bad thing.
Right, okay. And I know that with something like sugar in the food industry, there are many words that also mean sugar
Yeah.
that sound quite nice, you know, like something syrup or, you know, different.
Corn syrup, yeah.
Different words. That, oh, it's a vegetable and or a whole food syrup. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it's processed in the body, it's just another sugar.
Yeah, that's one of the lessons that I do with the kids, and it's very interesting. I say that the sugar, it has more than 48 names.
Okay.
So
it
for
does.
them, it's very interesting to learn the names and how to pick up the name when
Yeah.
you read the label. So
And why is sugar become the villain? What's the problem with sugar?
because they use sugar as one of the preservatives. They use it as a preservative, right?
Right.
So it's very easy to use it in the food, and they make the food taste better. And when you eat food, what happens? I'll try to speak in a very easy way so everyone will understand what I'm saying. But when
Okay.
you eat sugar, you will want to eat more sugar. Why? Because once you eat sugar, it goes straight to the brain, telling the brain 2 things. First thing, not to be super smart. So this is what I tell the kids. Tell the kids the same thing. The second thing, there is a hormone called leptin. Leptin is the hormone responsible of telling your body that you had enough food. This leptin doesn't work. Have you seen the movie Inside Out?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
you know the
yeah.
characters inside you? Yeah, this is
I'm
exactly
trying to
what.
think of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the characters, leptin, telling you, stop eating, you had enough food. This leptin doesn't work when you eat sugar. So you want to eat more
Okay.
sugar. That's how the sugar cravings come,
Right.
or
so
the sugar addiction.
You eat sugar, you
You want,
basically aren't told when to stop, so you can eat more.
yeah, so what happens? You pay more. So people get more money.
Okay.
So that's how they use a lot of sugar. And we say there's something called hidden sugar in the food, like sugar in ketchup, or like sugar in barbecue sauce, or sugar in bread. It's bread,
Yeah.
right?
I know they use sugar for the browning of the edges of bread and some flavoring.
Or yogurt,
Yeah.
flavored yogurt, right? Or granola bars. People eat granola bars and they think they're very healthy, right?
So even when we're trying to be good and we're going for healthier options,
Yeah.
like brown bread and granola bars,
Yeah, exactly.
we're still having this hidden sugar enter our system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that alone is a reason, you know, we're already consuming sugar, therefore maybe be careful when we buy it from the store
Yeah.
packaged up.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do see that a lot. I do see children, it seems quite easy today to have your own money, even for 7, 8, 9-year-olds, and to be able to wander into a store and buy something quick and fast and sugary. So what would you tell parents about maybe the frequency of junk food? Is there a formula to this, or is it just
80-20 rule?
Okay.
80% of the time try to eat natural, healthy food, and 20% because I cannot tell the kid not to eat with their friends. It's the social life part, right?
Okay.
So I can't tell one of the kids, don't eat like your friends. He will feel left out, right? So this is what I will do. I will try to make all the food in the house healthy.
Okay.
And then when they go out or when they are in school, they can eat whatever they want. I try to control as much as possible, as much as I can. And another thing, I have to at least let them see the healthy food as much as possible. So I will do like a plate in the house filled with fruits and vegetables so their eyes can see more healthy food than the junk food. But you cannot, I mean, if there's a comparison between, a battle between parents versus eating healthy, I will try to have a healthy relationship with your kids and just take a break with the healthy food.
Okay.
Because it's very important to have a good relation with the parents and speak to them in a way that they will understand. Because I can't come to a teenager and tell a teenager, you have to eat healthy to be clever, right?
Yeah.
Speak to them in their language, their own language. How do they speak now?
Right,
They see very fast videos. This is how they get all their information. They see very fast videos and they see social media all the time. So if I am a parent and I want to talk to my kid about healthy food, I have to dig deeper into his own world. So I will download TikTok and Instagram go search for experiments or videos or whatever and send to my kid. This is how they will understand. But they won't understand if I come to them to tell them, you have to eat carrot to see well. Right?
Okay, so you're trying to come to them on their level, basically,
Exactly.
and not
Exactly.
the old school, like
Yeah.
what really we should be allowed to do, but it just doesn't work as much today.
And be a role model, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's important. If they see the parents being healthier, do you think that helps them become a healthy child?
100%.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And I get a lot of kids telling me that the parents are not eating healthy. What do you want me to eat?
Yeah.
Why should I eat healthy if my parents are not eating healthy, right? So this is something very important. And I get also that it's very hard for the parents to eat healthy sometimes, but at least in front of the kids, eat healthy, try to do the effort.
It's common sense, right?
Yeah.
So you work with different ages. Obviously,
Yeah.
families have from babies up to they leave the family.
Yeah.
Do you notice any particular age where parents are really struggling?
Preteens.
Preteens.
Yeah.
Okay.
10, 11 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Do
Because
you know
they're
why
not
that
kids.
is?
Because they're not kids, so they can't obey the
I
family,
see.
the parents, and at the same time they want to be cool, right? So they want to try to eat new. They're exploring the life, so they're trying to eat new things, exploring different flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are they getting? For example, I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old. My children can't eat the junk food because I don't let them. So I give them a window of opportunity at the weekend where they can. So by preventing them from carrying cash, for example, they can't buy stuff. What can parents do? What's 1 or 2 tips you could give them that would slow down what their children are getting access to?
Okay, so another smart thing that the parent can do is that they try to cook what the kids want. So for example, the kids, they want to eat brownies. Why not making brownies at home? Maybe it will be good as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or get them involved in the kitchen. That's something that it's very cool now. It's very in that the kids come in the kitchen and try to explore new recipes. This is something that they can do. Also, the 80-20 rule, definitely. Like, it's okay like you do. For example, only in weekends, or when you have a sleepover with your friends, or only in birthdays, things like that. And try to make them love the healthy food. If it's done right, it will be tasty. So why not eat it?
Okay, have you worked with children in kitchens? Have you got them in to see what happens?
I do a cooking class with kids.
Tell us about that. What ages?
I have a coming one for Christmas cooking I have one for 3 to 6 years old, and another one for the older kids, and another one for the teenagers. Yeah, and I get them into the kitchen, and they cook with different ingredients. So for the young kids, I let them taste the ingredients. If it's cinnamon, smell the cinnamon, smell the ginger before even cooking. So they get introduced to the ingredients, right? And then if I have older kids, go into your phone, look for a recipe, and then let's do it together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do they tend to produce? Do they lean towards, how do you convince them not to cook junk?
It's whatever they have in front of them.
Okay.
What do they have in front of them? They have healthy ingredients. They won't even think about the bad ingredients. I do Christmas cookies and I don't do the colored icing. They don't even have in mind that they have to color the cookies with icing, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it depends on what they have in front of them. Give them the healthy ingredients, they will use it. Well, definitely 100% they want to eat the junk food because it's cooler and they want to be part of the cool community, right?
Yeah.
So it's okay to have it, but not all the time. Explain to them. Explain why am I saying that. Explain to them in a way that they will understand. I can't get the young kids and tell them about, I don't know, something very complicated, gluten or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can't get a teenager and tell him, don't eat this because it's not good for you. So tell them in a way that they will understand you, show them, and give them options. If you want them to eat healthy, then give them the healthy options. They will eat it.
Okay. So if you don't have a family that actually cooks themselves, because today, even when I was growing up, generally dad went to work, mum cooked the dinners, and you ate what you were given. There wasn't much choice. I feel like that's going away as more women either have to work or want to work. We lose that sort of balance, that traditional balance. So today parents don't have cooking skills. How do you get a parent to get cooking skills so that they can encourage their kids to learn to eat and cook?
Okay, I have to say something.
Right.
Mothers are really poor right now. They have to do many things, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the time to cook, and I understand that very well.
Yeah.
So, and what I see around me is sometimes that some women, they get someone to cook for them.
Yeah.
If this might be an option, or at least if you're not going to cook lunch, so they will order lunch, then you have another 2 meals, right? You have the lunchbox at school, which can be easy and can be healthy. It's just lunchbox, so it's very easy, or breakfast. And then if the kids are a little bit older than, I don't know, 10 years old, they can make their own breakfast, right? Or dinner, which is very easy.
Yeah.
So now we have one bad meal out of 3 meals and snacks.
Right.
Which is somehow the 80-20 rule, right?
Yeah, so you're just changing the amount of opportunities where they can eat better, reducing the ones where they can't eat good food.
And another thing that I have to speak about, if the healthy lifestyle is making the family very anxious, then it's not healthy. Right? So if the mom is very anxious about the kids eating healthy all the time and cooking healthy food, then it's not healthy. If they're very anxious, the dad is very anxious about the healthy food and the mom is very anxious, and the kids are really focusing on eating only healthy, then it's not life, right?
So you mean because that puts pressure on them, or
yeah, because they don't have time and they're very pressured, and the mom, she's working and she can't get the food all the time, so it has to be a relaxed lifestyle.
Okay, so it's an added stress for the parents, and the kids are going to feel, or the family's feeling that stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I guess a lot of parents will say, I have limited supply of time. How much, should this be a priority? Or if I only have an hour with my kids, because I watch my kids' schedule, they come home, they have to do homework, they have an activity, football, whatever it is, they come home and they literally have 45 minutes with me before bedtime. As a parent, I want to spend quality time with them. Do you think I would be better getting them in the kitchen with me and getting them into cooking early because food is so important, or just me getting into it and leaving them just to eat it?
It depends on your priorities. Is health one of your priorities?
Well, for me, yes.
Yeah. Health should be a priority for everyone, right? So my answer for my own family would be definitely yes.
Okay.
Right? Because health is a priority. And because later on in life, you will see a lot of diseases and a lot of problems and a lot of mental issues with your kids if they're not eating healthy. Because what they eat now will affect them later on. So yes, it's very important.
So why do you think many people today don't prioritize health? What's happening?
It's ignorance, I think. It's ignorance.
Okay.
We don't learn about nutrition in schools. Do we?
No.
Okay, so that's another problem. We don't learn about healthy food. I also say that the kids, it's because they don't know, they eat the junk. If they know, they will eat better. But they don't know. So, and this is one of the things that I try to do. I went to many schools. I went to more than 30 schools.
Okay.
And I tried to change the system there.
How was that?
It wasn't
Easy?
no, it wasn't easy at all.
Okay.
It wasn't easy because we tried to introduce the cafeterias and we tried to introduce healthy food, and it wasn't easy for the parents, for the kids, for the school. It was very hard and it didn't really work. But at least we did some mind changing among the students.
So obviously someone in that school system saw the importance of having healthy children.
Yeah,
right?
They wanted that.
And you said ignorance. Ignorance is just lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
What's going on? We have like more information today available at our fingertips. Like it takes me 2 seconds to prove that eating well, sleeping well, being well equals higher academic scores, for example.
Yeah.
Why don't schools see that information? Because obviously the problem is from top down, right?
Yeah.
If we were all aligned on it, our cafeterias wouldn't sell junk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be allowed to bring your phone and use it in the classroom.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to sit in a chair all day, right, and not move. So what's going on in schools? Why don't they see this?
It's not part of the curriculum.
But
It's
why?
not well,
What's happened? Like, what's our
think it's
biggest
because-
killer today of the human race?
I think it's because people think that it's much important to learn about history or it's more important to learn about languages, but not nutrition. That's
But why
one
do you
thing.
think that is? Because I can't find anyone that can answer this question.
Well, my own opinion now that I'm thinking with you, I think it's because outside Egypt, the healthy food is much expensive than the healthy food. So maybe it's not internationally something that's easy to be done. So as a result, in Egypt here, we don't have that.
So do you think, because to me, a school, I mean, should be designed to prepare young people for what's coming in the future. If we look at what's the biggest issues we have today in society, one of them is health and wellness.
Yeah.
So and finance, those two things alone, they're the two things that you're never taught in schools. So like you said, we'll learn history, we'll learn about when the French came to Egypt and what happened, and and we'll learn some maths and science. But the things that seem to matter, like how to live healthy and how to make money and save money and do well, I just don't understand why schools won't teach that. If you were a school, what would be the first step you would do to get this across to the parents and the children?
I would do regular workshops. I don't want to call it classes because I don't want it to be boring. It should be something fun so the kids can enjoy doing it. I would do workshops for kids on how to live healthy or get them into kitchens in a very simple way, get them to make their own lunch boxes maybe.
Right.
So I would do something like that in a very light and fun way so kids can learn about nutrition and also teach the parents because it's not only the kids' responsibility.
Right. Okay. And so you think that children would want to learn how to stay healthy?
Yeah, it's cool for them if you do it in a funny way. If you
Right.
get them some ingredients and tell them to do something out of it, or if you teach them in a very creative way, that's what I do. I try to get them toys and stickers and everything that's fun for them.
Okay.
So it's fun for them. It will be fun. At least it will be much funnier than history, for example.
Yeah, definitely. So if I'm on that journey, I'm a school and I'm trying to decide, right, I want to prepare these kids, right now to be healthier because I'll get better academic scores. I'll have better behavior in the classroom. Therefore, my staff will be happier. My school will be better branded. I'll have more of a waiting list to get in. That alone to me for business makes sense. What is it, how much of like these workshops you're talking about, how much would we need to give like as a school to these children, like frequency wise? Is it once a week, once a month, once a year?
The more frequent, the better, right?
Right.
Because kids forget and parents forget.
Okay.
So so it has to be something that happens on a regular basis so kids can remember what we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to move on a little bit, just away from food, just for a second. Activity levels. So you said about the 5 things. I think exercise was number 3.
Yeah.
When we're looking at exercise to maintain ourselves, what do you think that should look like for children, especially children as they're reaching those pre-teens and teens?
Yeah.
Because that's where we see the dropout in sport, 12, 13, everyone's gone. What should be happening, do you think? Because if we're not getting into sport, is there a solution to improve exercise, especially in teenagers?
Definitely. So kids, as simple as that. Go to the club, take your bike, and just enjoy your time. or just get a scooter, not the electric one, and go play with your friends, right? As simple as that. Sports doesn't have to be something very hard to be done. I think that the kids can enjoy their time by playing or just do fun stuff while not sitting just playing games. Oh, you know, the Nintendo Wii is one of the ideas in Nintendo Wii where the kids can go and play, and this is one of the things that the kids can do, right? I mean, try to be creative. It's not like before they have to play sports. Well, definitely they playing sports is much better for them. It's because they meet other people and they get to know other communities, and it's amazing for them on a social level. But if it's not possible, then why not just do something fun? Dancing.
Right.
Dancing. Go to a hip hop class. Something like that.
So earlier you touched on different diets and how people jump around from diet to diet. Is there a diet, if I'm Googling what diet to give my family, is there something that you feel is very balanced to start with? Because you talked about individuality, but we need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
What would you recommend as the first step into the style of eating?
The first step would be follow the healthy plate, which is half of the plate, as easy as that. Half of your plate should be filled with vegetables. The other half is divided between carbs and protein. Carbs, we have two different types of carbs, the good carbs and the bad carbs, which is the bad carbs is the simple carbs. Okay, so it doesn't give you energy. It takes the energy out of you. And then the complex carbs give you energy, takes time to be digested. And so that's how you don't feel, you feel full for a longer time. You don't feel hungry.
So give me an
afterwards.
example of a simple carb and a complex carb.
Okay, so complex carb would be oats, whole wheat grains, whole wheat bread, and simple carbs, pasta, pizza, everything that's bread, white bread, right?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
The stuff the kids love.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
All right.
And then for the protein, you can use the animal protein or non-animal protein.
Okay.
For the rest of the plate. As easy as that. You don't have to think about gluten-free, dairy-free, or like, well, if you want to talk about that, that's a whole new story.
Right.
But it's because everyone has intolerances, right?
Intolerances, what's an intolerance?
Intolerance mean everyone has intolerance. You can tolerate some kind of food and you can't tolerate another kind of food. And your body's changing every 4 years. So maybe now you are intolerant to gluten, but in 4 years it's going to be something else.
Why would we change every 4 years?
That's the body. The body changes every 4 years.
So it's a cycle that we're having?
Yeah, it's a cycle that we have. So you have to think about the intolerances and put the intolerances into consideration. But if you don't have any problem or you're not aware of any problem, then go back to basics. Eat the basics food, make it easy, make it simple, protein, carbs, and fruits and vegetables.
Okay, so I take my plate, I stuff on half of that plate vegetables, salad, colorful things that most kids are a bit picky about. Yeah. Right? So that's the goal. Half that plate is that stuff. Yeah. And then a third on the other side of the plate, a half of the other side, which is a quarter. It would be a protein of some sort, depending on whether you prefer meat or plant-based. Exactly. Finally, carbs. A carb like a sweet potato or rice or...
I would say any carbs. Don't think about it when it comes to kids.
Okay.
Don't overcomplicate things.
So that can be a pasta or...
That can be a pasta.
I see.
Yeah, it just... Don't overdo it with the fries, for example. Yeah. But with the kids, we're not going to think about white rice or brown rice, right?
But just visually, you can see the amount on that plate.
Yeah, and this is what we teach the kids.
Okay,
and
so that's easy.
I give them a plate, and then I give them toys, and they try to make their own combo.
Nice. Yeah. And if they refuse to eat the good stuff, what do you do?
Well, definitely they will refuse to eat the good stuff. It's because they're not used to it. Right. It takes them a lot of energy to accept the new food. And it's a different whole story because the way we eat, it's the way we live, and it's the way we're thinking, and we have the emotion sides and everything. But for the moment, just try to maybe play around with the sauce or play around with the dip or put some for example, if you're making salad, put something sweet in the salad so kids would love it. Yeah. Beetroot or like honey in the
So just keep
dressing.
trying things.
Keep trying.
And see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what you're saying over time, every so often those children keep changing anyway and probably their taste buds change. And okay, so that seems easy. What you're talking about, is that like the Harvard plate? Like if I Google, I think it was Harvard University brought out a plate where they recommended food. Yeah. Is that, so people can start to look at these examples?
Healthy plate. Yeah.
Healthy plate. Google healthy plate.
Exactly.
So intolerances, obviously they don't make us feel good. So it's a form of disease, I guess, or it can lead somewhere not good.
Yeah.
It slows me down.
Yeah.
What kind of intolerance do we generally see, and how do we know?
Yeah. So we often see gluten intolerance and dairy intolerance.
Dairy and gluten.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, dairy and gluten. And then how do I know if I'm intolerant or if my kid is intolerant? So after I eat, I want to sleep, or I have no energy, or I get bloated, or I have diarrhea, constipation, whatever. Or for example, every time my kids, after lunch, he can't concentrate. It's very hard for him to concentrate. And if a kid has something mental, like anxiety, for example, it's better to cut out sugar. Or if my kid is ADHD, then it's better to cut out sugar, for example, or like not give him a lot of sugar. And then the red dye, it's one of the things that I will eliminate if my kid has a problem. And sometimes we have intolerance towards the food coloring.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, me and my brother used to sneak into the kitchen, drink food coloring, so we would get hyperactive. So yeah, it's not good. You know. So with, you said dairy and gluten.
Yeah.
Dairy, obviously we get it. It's generally milk, cheese,
yeah,
eggs.
Exactly. No, not eggs.
No,
just milk and cheese.
Where am I going with this?
Yeah.
Cows and goats and sheep,
exactly.
basically.
Yeah.
And then for gluten is a protein.
Is a protein,
right?
found in
mainly bread and pasta.
Good job.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Exactly. So everything like bread, pasta, pizza, everything like that.
All right. We have to be careful with those foods.
We have to be very careful.
All right. And by minimizing it, obviously you're minimizing the attack, the damage.
Yeah.
And then should we try things like taking it away for a period of time to see what happens?
3 weeks. You take it away for 3 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
And then you introduce it again and see what will happen. That's what we call elimination diet. You eliminate some certain foods and then you bring it back and see what will happen.
I heard when you eliminate foods, like you just said, if you go for 3 weeks without bread, you put the bread back in on an empty stomach. If you've been measuring your resting heart rate, you can actually see your heart rate, the beats go up in number. If you're intolerant, I heard this 7, 8, 9 beats. So,
that's true. That's
families could try that.
Yeah.
Start on yourselves first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the bloating with the kids is very easy to see.
Right.
Yeah. So bloating, you'll see bloating,
and kids are generally quite honest with their emotions and feelings, so they'll tell you if they're not feeling good. All right, that's very useful. So, I mean, coming to the end of this conversation, it's been fascinating. And hopefully people have learned some tips.
I hope so.
If people want to know more or want to see your work, where can they reach you?
The Healthy Valley on Instagram.
The Healthy Valley.
Yeah.
And your valley.
Yeah.
Nice. The Healthy Valley on Instagram.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent. It's been great. Okay, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much. Would you like to tell anyone anything else before you finish?
No, just be happy and take it easy and everything will be fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.